Hello and welcome to Top Sim. My name is William Lebowski. Today you are watching some hill climb action from RaceRoom. These are the two hill climb options you have in RaceRoom. The first one being Lakeview Hillclimb and the second one being RaceRoom Hillclimb. And I don't know if they're both fictional. I have assumed that Lakeview Hillclimb is real because it has the Swedish flag on it, which leads me to believe it is actually real roads somewhere in Sweden, which is amazing because it really truly does give you this feel that I was driving along like these back roads, and it wasn't necessarily this pure racing experience. It for sure wasn't this on-track racing experience, and it for sure wasn't like this free roam arcade experience. So it was amazing to have this very realistic non-track based event available to me, just because it's very, I think, rare to find something that is this well done in sim racing. I think a lot of people think of Assetto Corsa when they think of hill climbs, and maybe they just will jump automatically all the way from on-track driving to something like just completely jump to the other end of the spectrum like rally. But there are these hill climbs which exist to me in the middle, kind of in between these two, where it's not pure. It's not a pure rally, because a rally includes a co-driver and more of a multiple stages put together instead of learning one thing really well like you would a race track. But it's not one of these things where it's multiple laps on a track. It's more of a single run, so it's neither one of these things, but it's still its own thing. So it's very interesting just in that regard, and so I think that is incredibly well done. That experience is very well translated into RaceRoom, where I feel like in Assetto Corsa, every hill climb track that I've ever done, the car, no matter what car you pick, never really quite feels to scale. Both with the car on the track and the actual size of the track and the environment and the objects and details around you, from the guardrails and trees and just everything else, just never quite feels to scale with the actual car that you're in. And one thing that also doesn't tend to scale well are the physics of that simulator to such an intense kind of micro experience than it is when you experience more of a long flowing circuit like Mugello or something like that. And so to have that experience in one simulator, and just to be able to easily access them both with any car that you could theoretically want to put on there is a really amazing experience. And this silhouette car is not something that I'm exactly familiar with, and I looked into it after doing this hill climb more, and it turns out that a silhouette car is more of a style of car where you take even a production car, but you can even rip out all of its guts and just use the shape, or the silhouette, if you will, of the car, and it could be anything running on the inside. So this car was really amazing, and it really performed at a type of limit and a type of performance that I'm not used to driving in terms of anything that I'm used to with on track. It really made me want to take it to the Nordschleife to see what kind of things I could do with it there, because I didn't know it had both this amount of power, torque, and grip, and also it definitely has a lot of aerodynamic prowess. I can definitely feel the aerodynamics working at play when moving fast enough. So it's a really interesting car, and I want to exploit that more, as well as experience it more. And these two hill climbs are the only two offered in RaceRoom, so I tried to go back and forth. I didn't want to waste my opportunity to make a video about them in any kind of way, shape, or form. And so the best way to get the best gameplay out of it, to be as entertaining as it was to do it without doing any kind of talk and drive or any kind of commentary while I was driving. And every time I've tried to do some sort of full-length commentary after the fact to put it on, has never really worked out. And so quite frankly, I have about, as you've seen now, like 4 or 5 minutes of things to talk about, where instead of trying to stretch that into this full-length video, I'm about to leave you here to enjoy the rest of this RaceRoom Hill Climb stage now. And just the amazing thing with this being, I always find it fascinating to watch people drive at the limit. And of course, the limit is always this fluctuating thing depending on both your skill level and how you drive the car and where you drive the car and all sorts of that. So it's just really interesting and entertaining for me to watch something that is someone trying to do their best at something. So this is me trying to drive as fast as possible in something I'm not exactly familiar with. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of these hill climbs in the comments below.